Hello and welcome to another episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis, joined once again by my miraculous wife, Sue.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Miraculous.
That's a good adjective.
It's different. So here we are, July 1st, this is going up, and of course we are just a couple of days away from the July 4th holiday. So what more appropriate movie to talk about for this podcast than
Independence Day.
Independence Day, a great, fun, popcorn action movie.
I love this movie.
This movie is going to be 20 years old next year.
Stop it.
Yeah, Independence Day released July 3rd, 1996.
Wow, it doesn't seem that long ago.
I know, it's really...
Wasn't 96 just like, maybe 7 or 8 years ago?
Yeah, no, it's almost 20 years ago, honey.
Wow.
The movie was directed by Roland Emmerich, written by Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich in 4 weeks.
Whoa.
It was sent out on a Thursday. They started fielding offers the very next day, and by Monday, they were in pre-production. So this one got snatched up pretty quick by the movie studio.
Yeah, I think they saw a winner there, huh?
Yep, absolutely. What's going to be bad about alien invasion and Americans just kicking ass?
That's right.
This movie stars Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Mary McDonnell, Judd Hirsch, Robert Loggia, Randy Quaid, and Vivica A. Fox. Now, Will Smith had done other things before this. Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence was the year before this. But this movie was definitely the movie that made him a movie star, for sure.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And then he followed it up with Men in Black like a year later.
Oh, okay.
Which was actually interesting because it was 2 alien movies back to back on July 4th weekend.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They filmed from July to November 1995. An estimated budget of $75 million.
Well, all right. Aliens, they don't work for scale.
No. Yeah, they're divas.
That's right.
Kind of like the T-Rexes.
That's right.
Except they don't have short arms.
No, they have very long arms and long fingers.
By the way, what we're doing right now is a callback to the Jurassic Park episode. So if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to that.
Yeah, check it out. It's really good.
$24 million of the budget was spent on advertising, $1.3 million of that for the trailer that was shown during the Super Bowl.
It made $50 million opening weekend and went on to gross over $306 million in the U.S. and over $817 million worldwide. It was the highest grossing film of 1996.
That's a lot of dinero.
That's right.
Not De Niro, a lot of dinero.
De Niro.
That
would have been a different movie.
Yeah, he wasn't in this movie. Are you landing on my planet? Are you landing on my planet?
Are you invading me?
You invading me? That's a little disrespectful. Little bit. So it won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects and was nominated for Best Sound.
I believe it.
Yeah, understandably so.
It also won a Grammy for Best Instrumental Composition written for a motion picture or for television. Along with Anatomy of a Murder in 1959, Crimson Tide in 1995, and The Dark Knight in 2008, this film's score won the Grammy despite not being nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Score.
Interestingly, too, this movie has something else in common with Crimson Tide. The interior shots that were done in the submarine were the same set used in Crimson Tide and down Periscope, and the White House interiors were previously made the year before for the American president, and were also used in Mars Attacks and Nixon.
That's right.
So some recycled sets because,
You got to keep those production budgets down. $75 million does not go that far.
Apparently not.
According to producer and co-writer Dean Devlin, the U.S. military had agreed to support the film by allowing the crew to film at military bases. However, after learning of the Area 51 references in the script, they withdrew their support.
So consequently, all of the F-18 fighters, they're all fake. They're either digital or wood models or full-scale wood creations.
Right.
So anytime you see a fighter jet flying in this movie, it's digitally created.
That's amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
In fact, the only real plane that flies in this movie is the crop dusting biplane that Randy Quaid flies.
Oh, right. When he dusts the wrong field.
Yep.
The scene in which Will Smith drags the unconscious alien across the desert was filmed on the Salt Flats near Great Salt Lake in Utah. I love this scene. Smith's line, "And what the hell is that smell?" was unscripted. Great Salt Lake is home to tiny crustaceans called brine shrimp. When they die, the bodies sink to the bottom of the lake and decompose. When the wind kicks up just right, you can imagine how bad the smell of millions of decaying brine shrimp can be. Well, apparently nobody warned Will.
Yeah. Brine shrimp, by the way, fun fact for you, are sea monkeys. Remember those?
I do. I was never allowed to have them. I don't know why.
Maybe your
Wasn't
parents
it-
knew what they would smell like when they died.
Yeah, maybe. Wasn't it if you saved up enough like cereal box parts or something and you sent them in?
Yeah, and then you're like Badger from Better Off Dead.
Yeah. Oh.
Another callback.
Oh my gosh.
The kid's on fire.
Oh. Either that or I think I saw them in like the ads for them in the back of comic books.
Yeah, wherever kids could read that,
Yeah.
they would put
Yeah.
it probably. Another interesting thing about the salt flats, they did a lot of breaking of records on those salt flats. That's
Oh,
where
that's
they
right.
speed records.
Speed records
like the
there,
rocket
yeah.
cars and stuff, because it's so wide open and
Right.
flat.
Right. I could only imagine you need a lot of sunscreen there though. There's
Yeah.
no shade. It's like wide open. All that base it looks white from the salt. So like, could you imagine how hot and the reflection of the sun and everything?
In fact, a lot of the actors actually got sunburned up their pants. They were wearing long pants, and the crew too.
Yeah.
And the sun was reflecting off the salt flats so hot and so well, it actually burned their legs.
Wow.
Amazing, right?
You don't need patent leather shoes to reflect up for that.
Nope.
No.
Producer Dean Devlin said that well over half of the dialogue in the scenes that Jeff Goldblum shared with Judd Hirsch and Will Smith was improvised.
I like when he shows up, he rides his bike over to his dad's place, and he says, "Can I borrow the car?" You
Yeah.
need the car. You don't have a driver's license, and they have their little, it's very natural sounding.
They had a good rapport, the two of them.
Yeah.
So the famous speech by the president, the speech was filmed on August 6, 1995 in front of an old airplane hangar. Now, this hangar actually once housed the Enola Gay, which was the airplane that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima exactly 50 years earlier on August 6, 1945.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. The last sentence of the president's speech was not in the original script. It was added at the last minute for dramatic effect in an effort to convince 20th Century Fox not to avoid a legal battle to earn the right to name the film Independence Day. In fact, the abbreviation ID4 was created because of legal problems with the title Independence Day. Before 20th Century Fox reached a deal with Warner Brothers for the rights to the title, they suggested the film be called Invasion or Sky on Fire, among other titles.
You know, I have a feeling that if the film was named Invasion or Sky on Fire or whatever else they came up with, it probably wouldn't have been as successful. I think the fact that it's called Independence Day and it's like, hoorah, America and all that, I think that really adds to the appeal of the movie,
I do too. Absolutely.
So there's, always scenes in the movies that we talk about that really stand out and people remember. Of course, you mentioned the scene where Will Smith is dragging the alien.
Oh, I
you know,
love that.
in his parachute.
I love that. I could have been at a barbecue.
Before that happens, there's the big dogfight, and they're flying through the Grand Canyon. They crash. And then when he opens up the spacecraft to reveal the alien,
That's right.
he punches the alien
Yeah.
once.
Once.
The alien is knocked out cold.
That's some punch.
Or the alien has a glass jaw. I'm not sure.
Either way.
Both.
But then you learn later on that the body of the alien that you're seeing is like an exoskeleton thing.
Right. It's protected.
The smaller alien inside.
Right. So it would almost be like punching a football player with his helmet on. Like,
Yeah.
how would it really hurt? Just one of probably many plot holes in this movie.
What?
All right. There's actually another one, which I'll mention now, too. Later in the movie, the actors all end up at Area 51.
Right.
And at some point, one of the soldiers runs up and brings a Bible and a yarmulke to Judd Hirsch so he can pray.
Right.
Right? And it dawned on me, where the hell did they get a yarmulke and a Bible at Area 51?
I don't know. Maybe
Apparently-
someone had it in a locker somewhere or something.
Either that or one of the aliens was Jewish.
Well, that's true.
I guess when you're in the midst of the movie and you're enjoying it, you maybe are not thinking about it.
Right.
But it is kind of funny when you look back and you find stuff like
Well,
that.
also you wonder how Jasmine runs, she's in the tunnel and then she finds that door to kick in and go hide and the fireball's coming down and the
Right.
dog just makes it. But I mean, technically speaking, that wouldn't be enough to keep them alive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all...
So it's a little suspension of disbelief here.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And by the
Yeah.
way, that is the most well-behaved dog ever.
Love that dog.
Dog's the best. Boomer.
What a good boy.
Yeah. According to the liner notes from the complete score by David Arnold, the drum rhythm that's heard during the invasion scenes near the beginning of the film is actually Morse code for the letters D-I-E.
Nice.
Ooh.
Well, later, when the president says to the alien, "What is it you want?" That's all he says is "die."
Yeah, when he's talking through...
Data.
Data. Brent Spiner.
That's it. Yeah, Data.
Yeah. Nowadays, when they make movies like this, there's a lot of special effects, and obviously most of them are done digitally after they film
Right.
with CGI. This particular movie holds the record for the most miniature model work to appear in one film. Model shop supervisor Michael Joyce estimated that more miniatures were used for this film than in any other 2 films combined. Now, due to the advances in digital technology since this film came out, most experts think that this record is going to stand forever, and that's probably the case.
I
There was
believe it.
plenty of digital work done in this movie as well.
Right. But there's so many locations that they had to show. I mean, they had all of D.C., they had the White House, they had New York City. I love when the Statue of Liberty is lying on its side with
Yeah.
the spaceship over it, because the Statue of Liberty was a model at that point.
Oh,
right?
yeah, of course. Yeah. And in
It's
the back,
amazing.
that's an interesting scene, too, because in the background of that scene, you see, it's close-up of the fallen Statue of Liberty, but in the background, it's kind of freaky. There's a shot of the burning Twin Towers.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's so weird every time you watch a movie that came out before 9/11 to see the Twin Towers, because every movie that was ever shot in New York, there's always at least one scene, one shot of the
Right.
Twin Towers.
Right. They were so iconic,
Yeah.
But whenever I see it, it makes me feel sad.
Yeah, absolutely. They blow up the Empire State Building in this movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of models,
The White House, which exploded, was built at 1/12th scale. 9 cameras filmed the explosion at various speeds, one of which was 12 times faster than normal, then played back at normal speed to make the explosion seem larger and slower on film.
they built a couple of sets to replicate the White House, but at no time was the actual White House used in this movie, I'm
Right.
pretty sure.
Pretty smart.
Even the scenes where they're evacuating the White House, where they show the helicopter and kind of the door, that was just,
Yeah.
a small part of the White House recreated.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned before, all the interior shots done in the White House, the Oval Office, etc., were all sets that were used in other movies prior.
That's right.
So the film was actually banned in Lebanon because it included scenes where Israeli and Iraqi soldiers joined forces. Now, for the last few decades, Lebanon officially boycotts any form of entertainment that features Israelis, too.
Interesting.
That was the one thing about this movie. You talk about far-fetched. I wonder if, God forbid, this ever happened. Do you think there's aliens out there?
I don't know. It's a big universe. You
it-
never know.
It does seem pretty naive to think that we are the only life forms in the entire universe.
That would be, yeah.
I mean, I would hope that if the world's destruction was on the line, that would really happen, that the world's military forces and people would join together in that way.
You'd think for their survival, if you were going to die or have to fight with, your sworn enemy, what would you choose?
There are some stubborn people in this world.
I guess so. And they all live in Lebanon.
I think we all have people that we dislike. I can honestly say there's nobody that I dislike so much that I would literally kill myself
Right.
to avoid...
And the planet.
Yeah, exactly. So Jeff Goldblum once again plays a great, for lack of a better term, nerdy character. He's really super smart. Very similar to the character he plays in another movie we've talked about.
Jurassic Park.
In fact, there's a line that he uses in both movies.
That's right.
In Jurassic Park, it's when they're trying to get away from the T-Rex. In this movie, when Will Smith and he are in the alien spacecraft trying to fly away
Trying
from,
to
trying to
there
escape.
before it blows up.
Yeah, he says the same line, must go faster, must go faster.
Now, I've heard that was actually his recorded line from Jurassic Park. So when it came up to watching that and seeing it, I wanted to see how it worked, but they didn't show him saying it.
Right, it was off camera.
It was off camera, so it could have been.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. It probably would be easier for him to just say the line again.
Well, probably,
because
yeah.
if they want to use the recorded version of it, they got to go and get permission from Spielberg and Universal and this and that.
True.
So it could be.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It just seems like it would be very labor intensive and cost ineffective.
Is it live or is it Memorex? Only Jeff Goldblum knows.
Exactly. If I ever have Jeff Goldblum on the podcast, I'll ask him.
That's true. And if you have John Cusack, maybe you can talk about Better Off Dead.
That's right. Oh, man, we are just doing callbacks galore here today. I'll tell you what, though. I think the chances of me having either one of those guys on this podcast are probably slimmer than an alien invasion of the United States and the world.
Oh. Did you know that over 70 mock news broadcasts were created for the film?
I do now.
You do now.
Yeah.
So that's got to include all of the ones that they were showing being filmed live and all the ones on the TV sets all over the world.
Yep. Actors get their motivation in different ways. And two of the actors had some interesting ways of getting into character. Robert Loggia modeled his performance of General Gray after the real-life General Patton,
Okay, I could see
and
that.
out of his respect for the military forces.
He's so believable.
Yeah, he's great. He's just a great, like, gruff kind of
Oh,
guy.
I love
Everything
him.
that he's in.
Yeah. And Bill Pullman used the memory of a decayed tooth which was pulled from his mouth in order to come up with a terrified expression when speaking with the alien invaders.
That's a very interesting correlation there.
That is. So I guess basically what he was thinking was that, gee, talking to these aliens is like pulling teeth.
Hey-o! So when Will Smith enters the squadron locker room, the extras, all the pilots, are watching TV. They were real pilots. They were a Marine Corps F-18 training squadron.
Oh, that's cool. So they didn't have to be costumed.
No, I guess they were just wearing their regular uniforms.
And doesn't he come in and say something like, don't you gentlemen have something better to do?
Yeah, exactly. And Will Smith's squadron were stationed at the El Toro Air Base. It's the same name as the air base from which the flying wing bomber flew out to drop the A-bomb on the Martians in the movie War of the Worlds. El Toro Marine Corps Air Station was a real air base in Orange County, California from 1943 until its decommissioning in 1999. You know, one of the other great characters in the movie was the one that Harry Connick Jr. plays. He's not in the movie for a really long time, but he's very memorable. Mm-hmm. Kick the tires and light the fires.
That's right.
He was actually really good in this movie.
Yeah.
This is the second movie, by the way, that he plays a pilot in, too. He was
What
also...
was the first?
He was in the movie Memphis Belle as well, which is based on a
Oh.
true story. I think he was a pilot in that. If he wasn't a pilot, he was a gunner or something, but he was definitely in that movie.
Was that the one, well, grease my landing gear, I'm coming in for a landing on In Living Color?
Probably.
Nice. Well, Dean Devlin, who served as the second unit director and directed the close-up shots of the actors in the F-18 cockpits, let Harry Connick Jr. improvise several takes while doing impressions of various celebrities. His impression of Reverend Jesse Jackson is included in the film.
It's pretty good stuff, too.
Pretty good. I would have loved to seen the other ones, too.
Yeah, me too. I wonder if they're out there somewhere.
I wonder. Well, you know, when you have Harry Connick Jr. in, he can do them for you.
Yeah. I don't know if he can fit me in. Well, actually, American Idol is going to be celebrating its final season next year, so maybe after that I can ring
His
up Harry
schedule might
Connick
open
Jr.
up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because he doesn't have a career besides American Idol.
No, I'm sure he'll be looking for things to do in New Jersey.
So Mary McDonnell, who's probably best known for her role in Dances with Wolves, accepted her role in this movie immediately after her agent pitched the film by simply saying, it's about 15-mile-wide spaceships.
Smart.
I'd be in.
Oh, yeah. Me too. The chaplain who marries Will Smith and Vivica A. Fox, he was played by Rance Howard, Ron Howard's father.
There's a guy who's had a lot of success making movies, huh?
I'll say.
So President Whitmore was originally intended to be a Richard Nixon-like figure. The role was originally written for Kevin Spacey, co-writer Dean Devlin's friend from high school. An executive at Fox refused to cast Spacey, insisting that he didn't have the potential to be a big star.
What a visionary, huh?
Talk about a guy eating crow right about
Yeah.
now. The part was rewritten and Bill Pullman was then cast. Now, I had said when we were watching the movie last night that I'm looking at Bill Pullman and he just doesn't feel presidential to me. I look at him, I see Lone Star from Spaceballs, and I see the character that he played in Ruthless People with Bette Midler and Danny DeVito. He's
See,
there's something about his face that just, it makes me want to laugh more than anything else.
What?
Not that he wasn't good in
No.
this movie, but there's just something about him that
I always loved him in this role.
Yeah.
I always thought he pulled it off. One thing I always did wonder was how far into the presidency was he? Because he still kind of looks young. He's not that gray.
right.
So I'm thinking he's got to be early in.
Yeah,
Because everyone, like, if you look at, the pictures of the presidents, they age very quickly.
that's true. As much as I don't really look at him as being very presidential because of the other movies he's done and his face and everything like that, he's still better than any president we've had
Well,
in real life.
that goes without saying.
Just like all movie presidents, they're always
Right.
better in the movies.
Oh,
Whether it's
absolutely.
this movie, The American President with
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Douglas, Kevin Kline and Dave, or really anybody that's played the president.
You end up sitting there watching the movie thinking, why can't our real presidents be like this?
Yes, please. I mean, the speech he gives is phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
He does a great job with
Yeah.
the speech. No matter what I say about whether he's presidential or not, when you're launching missiles at an alien spacecraft trying to stop their world domination, you're getting reelected.
Yeah, I would think so. The man in the Los Angeles office building that is destroyed in the initial attack is played by Volker Engel, who is the movie's visual effects supervisor.
Ah, okay. And we were talking before about how a lot of times they recycle sets and things like that from other movies. There's another cool thing in this one.
Yeah, the futuristic-looking computer in the control center at Area 51, that's components of a combat system built in 1954 to protect the U.S. from Soviet bomber attack. It was the largest and heaviest computer system ever built, the full system weighing 6,000 tons and taking up an entire floor of a bomb-proof blockhouse.
Wow.
Charge the blockhouse. Components of decommissioned systems were sold for scrap and bought by film and television production companies. The components from this film had also been used in The Towering Inferno, 1974, among many others.
So traditionally, when Roland Emmerich does a movie, the regular film crew gives several cast members nicknames by the end of filming. So Will Smith was given the nickname Mr. Charisma, rightly so.
I could imagine.
Jeff Goldblum was nicknamed Nice because of his tendency to say nice, nice when agreeing with Emmerich's direction.
And one of my favorites, Robert Loggia, he was nicknamed the Turtle because despite his hard exterior, he was soft on the inside.
Aw, nice.
Aww. And Entertainment Tonight's Julie Moran received the nickname Evil because her name appears in the credits at the same time that the music turns ominous.
And because Entertainment Tonight is evil as well.
What?
No, I'm kidding. You know, all the money that they spend on special effects between the models and the pyrotechnics and the CGI and all that, sometimes the simplest things make something happen on film. To achieve the look of Houston as seen from the air at night, the crew simply poked holes in a sheet of black construction paper, placed the paper in front of a bright light in a smoke-filled room, and photographed it using special lighting to accomplish the effect.
Nice.
That's artistry.
Exactly.
And another inexpensive way to make something happen on film.
KY jelly was used to make the aliens look slimy.
Yeah.
It had to be applied several times during outdoor scenes because the intense desert heat caused the jelly to evaporate in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, and they were pretty sticky looking, weren't they?
They were pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
So there is a sequel to this movie that will be out next year.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that there was a definite date. I heard that there was talks about it.
Yeah,
but
no, it's definitely scheduled for next summer.
who's going to be in it?
A lot of people are returning. Jeff Goldblum is returning. Vivica A. Fox, Bill Pullman,
Okay. Will
Judd
Smith?
Hirsch. No, Will Smith will not be in it.
Oh,
It has a couple of new people. I think Liam Hemsworth is going to be in
Okay.
it. Brent Spiner is returning.
Data.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everybody thought he was dead, but
I thought
alas.
so too, because they check his pulse and they leave him behind.
It was kind of left open-ended a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, well, apparently. Unless it's flashbacks, but we'll see, I guess.
Ah.
So anything else that comes to mind when you think of this movie?
I remember seeing the commercials on TV and the trailers,
Mm-hmm.
and always, well, I mean, one of my favorite scenes I think is one of the most simple when Will Smith goes for the newspaper in the morning when, the aliens have just arrived.
Yeah.
And he's having just a regular morning
Right.
with his family.
Yeah, he thinks he
You
just
know.
experienced a minor earthquake.
Yeah, and he's looking, and the neighbors are leaving, one
Yeah.
little shake and they're out of here. And then he goes to get the paper and it shows his profile because he's looking at the paper and then out of the corner of his eye he sees the neighbors and then he looks around and all he does is kind of look up with his eyes and then his whole head lifts up when he sees it.
Yeah.
And I'll always remember that as like one of the cells of, why I wanted to see it. I just
Yeah.
loved, it's like, how can you not know that this is going on?
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool because all the actors, especially in New York City too, when they're looking up at the sky and they're reacting to the giant spacecraft, when they film those scenes, obviously they're looking up and reacting to nothing.
Right.
They're all added later in
Yeah.
post-production. So you got to credit like all the actors and extras who can do that effectively and make you really believe it.
Yeah.
Especially too, like when Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum are flying in the spacecraft and they're trying to get away.
Yeah.
And they're reacting to turn left, move right, and you just miss being shot at and all that. That's the director yelling at them.
Yeah.
And you have to keep your intensity up as an actor, and people, you forget about that when they're reacting to nothing. Keeping that intensity so high,
Yeah.
it's pretty great. And the other cool thing I remember that they talked about as far as the behind the scenes thing was the scenes where the spacecraft are coming up over the city and all you're seeing is like the shadows
Oh, yeah.
covering
So
the
cool.
cityscapes. Those were achieved by just taking like cards and covering lights.
Oh, my
kinda.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's pretty cool stuff.
And one of my favorite characters in the movie is the little boy. I just think he's so cute. He's got
He's
those
good, too.
huge eyes. It's not one of those annoying kid characters. It's just there to have a kid there.
Yeah. I think he adds dimension to Vivica A. Fox's character.
Right.
You know,
And he's
for
just
sure.
so darn cute.
I mean, otherwise she's just a stripper with a heart of gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting side note about that kid. He was on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with Will Smith.
That's right. I heard that he is now 26 years old. He has finished college, and I think he went for film and broadcasting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he's looking to get back behind the camera and possibly in front.
In the sequel, by the way, the daughter of President Whitmore is a character in the sequel. It's a
Okay.
different actress
Well,
playing
sure,
her, though.
yeah.
Well, it could have
Well,
been
that's true.
the same actress. Time's passed.
Well, it
blah,
depends
blah,
on
blah.
if the time difference is the same.
Oh, that's true. We don't know.
As in the
It
storyline.
seemed like it based
Okay.
on who the actress who is playing her.
Okay.
And also, a woman president played by Celia Ward is in the sequel.
Oh, cool.
So I guess President Whitmore is probably, former
Oh, yeah.
President Whitmore.
Retired.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out next year, I guess.
Interesting. Oh, I had no idea. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be cool.
Well, do you think they'll put it out for Independence Day weekend?
I think the release date is actually the weekend before Independence Day.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to mark our calendars.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to avoid competing with something else that's coming out next Independence Day.
Maybe.
Well, I think that about wraps up Independence Day, at least the podcast. Hey, if you have any thoughts or screen facts of your own about this movie, or if you have any thoughts about the podcast in general, please send me an email at screenfacts@yahoo.com. I would love to hear from you. Please also rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes so other people can find this podcast. And when I share links to this podcast on Facebook, when I tweet about it, or if we talk about it, whatever, please let other people know that you think would enjoy the podcast. If people that you know are movie fans, let them know about this because we want to spread the word about Screen Facts with Jason Davis. Please also check out my website, jasondavisvoice.com/podcast for info about Screen Facts merchandise. And my lovely wife, Sue, thank you again for
You're
joining me.
welcome.
We'll have to figure out what we're going to talk about next.
Okay.
Well, thanks for listening, and join me again next Wednesday for more Screen Facts with Jason Davis. Bye-bye.